you want to see into the future? Do you want to understand an invisible force that's shaping your life? Do you want to experience the frontiers of what makes us human? On Tech Stuff, we travel from the mines of Congo to the surface of Mars, from conversations with Nobel Prize winners to the depths of TikTok, to ask burning questions about technology, from high-tech to low culture and everywhere in between. Join us. Listen to Tech Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Before there was internet fraud and phone scams, there were always swindlers. Female swindlers too. Discover the stories of women from the past who not only survived but thrived as con artists and thieves. How did they use their feminine characteristics to swindle in a world where men made the rules? Join me, Lucy Worsley, historian and author, and my all-female team in Lady Swindlers, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, my name is Adrienne Bain. I'm a producer at Wonder Media Network, and I'm excited to be guest hosting this episode of Womanica. This month, we're diving into the divas of history, examining how the label has been used from many angles, whether describing women pejoratively or with admiration. Today, we're diving into the dazzling world of a true diva, an icon of beauty, wit, and audacity, who captivated the Victorian era and beyond. Let's talk about Lillie Langtry, the woman who redefined what it meant to live life on her own terms. Lillie was born Emily Charlotte Le Breton in 1853 in Jersey, one of the Channel Islands. Her father was a respected clergyman, and Lillie had a joyful childhood. She was the only girl in a family of 6 boys, and being the only girl came with its perks. She received the same schooling as her brothers, in a time when girls typically received a much more pared-down education. Even as a young girl, Lillie stood out. She had striking features, pale skin, chestnut hair, and piercing eyes. In 1874, in an effort to leave her island home, she married Edward Langtry, a wealthy but unremarkable man. By the end of the year, they were London residents. It was there her life began to transform. At a party full of London elites, Lillie was the main event. Dressed in a plain black gown, her beauty and simplicity were captivating. This was Lillie's entrance into high society. Privately, though, her marriage was falling apart. Edward spent most of his time drinking and spending what little remained of his family fortune. But as her marriage deteriorated, Lillie's social status skyrocketed. She had no intention of fading into obscurity like her husband. Artists began competing for her as a model. Pictures and illustrations of her appeared in store windows, and drawings of her were printed on postcards. In 1879, the popular pre-Raphaelite painter John Everett Millais painted a portrait of Lillie called the Jersey Lily. All of this made her one of the period's most popular professional beauties. In the late 1870s, Lillie met Albert Edward, the Prince of Wales and the future King of England. He was immediately smitten with Lillie. Although the prince had several mistresses, Lillie was the first one he publicly acknowledged. They took horse-drawn carriage rides around Hyde Park, and he even presented her to his mother, Queen Victoria. Lillie became a cultural phenomenon. Her face appeared in advertisements, her fashion choices were copied, and her every move was scrutinized by the press. This wasn't just fame. It was Lillie mania. The affair ended in 1879, but Lillie and the prince remained friends for years. Lillie went on to have a few more trysts. She had a brief affair with Prince Louis of Battenberg and a relationship with a childhood friend. So, when Lillie got pregnant, it wasn't clear who the father was, though she insisted it was Prince Louis. In March of 1881, Lillie gave birth to a baby girl. The child was brought up in Jersey by Lillie's parents. Despite a couple of tumultuous years, Lillie didn't break. When her relationship with the prince ended, she didn't retreat out of public eye. When she and her husband were on the brink of bankruptcy, she didn't give up. Instead, she reinvented herself. In 1881, Lillie took the advice of her friend Oscar Wilde and began training to become a professional actress. Now, this was an interesting move in the late 19th century. Actresses weren't seen as respectable, let alone women of her social standing. But Lillie didn't care. She believed she had the confidence and beauty to transcend those stereotypes. And she was right. After some lessons, Lillie made her debut in 1881 in a charity performance of A Fair Encounter at Twickenham Town Hall. Later that year, she began performing in London's West End. Although her acting was pretty average, her performance attracted large audiences, including members of the royal family. Lillie filled seats, and soon after, she was signed by the Hyde Market Theatre Theatrical Company. Her theatrical success turned her into a Victorian-era influencer. London women copied how she dressed. She had a dance called the Langtry Waltz written for her, and companies wanted her to be the face of their products. She was the face of Pear's soap, making it one of the first celebrity endorsements. Early in 1882, Lillie decided to start her own theater company. They performed extensively throughout the provinces. It was so successful, the American theater manager, Henry E. Abbey, scheduled her for a tour in the United States. For the next 5 years, Lillie and her company traveled across the U.S. As was true back in England, critics were not impressed, but the public loved her. Her charisma was undeniable. She often played a society woman who had difficult relationships with the men in her life. Many of her plays were criticized for their risque nature. In true diva fashion, Lillie traveled from one stop to the next in a personal railway carriage built and paid for by a wealthy friend. When her U.S. tours ended, Lillie officially divorced her husband and became an American citizen.
2 o'clock. Is your hour? Aye, sweet Rosalind.
In 1891, she performed as Rosalind in Shakespeare's comedy As You Like It. She had a sold-out 4-month run at the St. James Theatre. Later that year, she returned to Jersey to play Rosalind in front of a home audience. They welcomed her with open arms. In the summer of 1899, at her family's church, Lillie married 28-year-old Hugo de Bath. When his father died years later, Lillie became Lady de Bath. One of Lillie's most triumphant performances was in Jersey in 1900 when she opened the renovated Opera House with a performance of The Degenerates. Although her acting had been uneven at the beginning, Lillie had worked hard to refine her craft and prove she was more than just a pretty face. Her star power continued to rise the next year when Tiffany & Co. made a belt buckle in honor of her tour of the United States. In 1905, Lillie did one last tour, this time in South Africa. Again, audiences thoroughly enjoyed what she brought to the stage. Between 1906 and 1913, Lillie participated in vaudeville before making her only film, His Neighbor's Wife. She officially retired in 1917 and relocated to Monte Carlo. Lillie Langtry passed away on February 12, 1929, at the age of 75. She's buried in Jersey in St. Savore's churchyard. All month, we're talking about divas. For more information, follow us at Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to Jenny and Liz Kaplan for letting me host this episode. Tune in tomorrow for a brand new theme.
Do you want to see into the future? Do you want to understand an invisible force that's shaping your life? Do you want to experience the frontiers of what makes us human? On Tech Stuff, we travel from the mines of Congo to the surface of Mars, from conversations with Nobel Prize winners to the depths of TikTok, to ask burning questions about technology, from high-tech to low culture and everywhere in between. Join us. Listen to Tech Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Before there was internet fraud and phone scams, there were always swindlers. Female swindlers too. Discover the stories of women from the past who not only survived but thrived as con artists and thieves. How did they use their feminine characteristics to swindle in a world where men made the rules? Join me, Lucy Worsley, historian and author, and my all-female team in Lady Swindlers, wherever you get your podcasts.